guys, I got this great idea from the last video where Professor Lasher said that I might be stealing his job. Wow, that's great. Johnny from the streets, everybody. He knows his stuff, doesn't he? We need to be careful of this guy. He might try and steal my job in the future. I don't know. You know what? He's right. I am going to steal his job, and I decided I want to monetize this video channel. So what I'd like you guys to do is smash that like button down there. I want you to hit subscribe. Don't forget to ring that bell so you get notified of all my future videos. And hey, it would really mean a lot if you dropped a comment down there too. So let's... Hey, what, Johnny? What are you... What's up? Alright, everybody. It looks like we're going to have to find a replacement for that guy. Yeah, he's out. Johnny from the streets no more. So we need somebody else to help us out here. You know anybody? Get rid of this background, won't we? Let's get back into class mode. All right. Now, when we talk about essay writing, and, I talk about critical thinking and how I want you guys to really come up with ideas. I want ideas. I'm an idea guy. And so I want to talk a little bit about philosophy, right? And basically, what I consider the foundation of modern Western thought. And of course, you go way back, but I feel like Aristotle is it. So here's a quote from Aristotle. "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit." Interesting for us, isn't it? Practice makes perfect is basically what he's saying here. And there's a lot of other stuff about what it means to be human and free will and all this other stuff that I think is involved in this. But we're going to keep it simple, and we're going to say practice makes perfect, which is what we are looking at in this class, and that's why I ask you to write a lot. Now, a lot of you got through the technically proficient essays. The introduction was right, you had a hook, a thesis statement, topic sentences. That's all good. Some of you didn't, and the other video is going to refresh you about what an essay looks like. But for those of you that did, we want to make our arguments stronger. So this is our next step now. The first thing is interesting topic, because a lot of your topics, bad topic, bad ideas, it's tough. But let's say you get a good topic, let's say you have good ideas, what next? We want to back those topics up, right? We want to argue our topics in the best possible way. And how do we do that? Well, Aristotle had an idea or a concept of three things that he called ethos, pathos, and logos. Since Aristotle was Greek, we can imagine, the argument as the top and these three columns holding it up, right? Like an old Greek building. But anyway, to persuade, we need ethos, pathos, and logos, right? And what do they mean? Well, let's start with logos. Logos basically means logic. And so what we're looking at here is we need our arguments, we need our facts, we need our statistics, right? Where do these come from? We can't make them. We find sources on the internet that back up our arguments with facts and details. Scientific research. This is the reason in here why we need good sources with good information. We can't just say, Johnny from the streets, rest in peace, is doing these things, right? We need to have an actual expert tell us about them. Good. From there, let's talk about ethos a little bit. What is Yes, you in the front, you have a question? Yes, Professor. What is ethos again? Good. I am about to tell you what ethos is. Let's look at it. Ethos means basically ethics. But what I really think it means is expert opinion. So how do we have expert opinion? There are basically... Yeah, another question? Professor, what do you mean by expert opinion? Okay, there are basically two ways that we have show our expertise, right? The first way is that we make our paper professional looking. That means it should be organized in the proper way. It should look like a good paper. That means use a professional font, double space properly, indent the paragraphs, make it look correct. The second way that we do this is that we use actual expert testimonials. Another question? Oh, Professor Lasher, are you saying that we need expert testimonials? Okay, good, yes. These expert testimonials are actually tied into logos, right? Because if we get these expert opinions, we use these citations, it shows not only our expertise, but it shows that we find the other experts in the field, right? So ethos and logos are really tied together quite well, and we need to use both of them to make a strong argument. Good. And now the third argument, pathos. An axe? Really? I wanted to ask you what pathos is. Okay, well that wasn't funny at all. But yes, I am about to tell you about pathos here. Okay, what does pathos mean? Pathos basically means emotion. And when we talk about pathos, we need to make an emotional appeal. We need to tell stories. We need to find stories in the community that people will find affect them, right? We want to grab people's hearts. We know that facts aren't the only way that we can prove our point and change people's minds. We need to attack them emotionally too, and this is where pathos comes in. Good. Now here is the most important. Okay, last question. Oh, Professor, could you tell me which one is the most important? Okay, now here, some students. Here is the most important thing. We can't, just as they asked, we can't rely on only one or even two of these to support our arguments the best, right? What is the strongest point? A triangle is the strongest. If we have 3 points holding it up, it's going to be much stronger. So for each of our supporting arguments, each of our body paragraphs, or if there are multiple paragraphs, but each supporting argument that we make, we want to use ethos, pathos, and logos, all three, in order to prove our point. This is what's going to make our strongest argument. Does it make sense? Good. So, to recap very quickly, what do we need? Pathos. We need an emotional appeal. We need a story from the community, a personal story that's going to grab people, you know? Second, ethos. We need professional appearance. We need our paper to look professional on one side, and on the other side, we need to collect professional facts and opinions. We need testimonials. We need success stories. We need to show how our argument actually works. To tie into this, we have logos, the logic, which is facts, statistics, numbers, things like that, research. Now, ethos and logos go together, right? We find these success stories, we find these expert opinions in the field, and then we use the research that shows that they actually work. They support each other, right? So we use pathos to grab the heart of our listener, or our reader, excuse me. Then we use ethos, the experts, our expertise, to show that we know what we are talking about. And finally, we use the logos to back it all up with numbers, cold, hard facts. If we do that, we are going to have a stronger paper. So remember, we want to use ethos, pathos, and logos, all three, in each argument that we make in our essay going forward. If you have any questions, put a comment underneath, email me. Otherwise, good luck and happy writing.